When there are so many approval systems and a hierarchical structure, there's sign-offs and different things that need to happen in order to make sure that things are conveyed in a certain way. It can definitely slow things down. I've personally worked in a lot of organizations that had really strong hierarchical structures, and it can be very hard to finally get the approval to do the thing or get the feedback on whatever it is, because it has to go through this person and then this person and then this person, and this person signs off. And then we go back down the ladder step by step, and you can't skip the steps. Some employees, many times you'll identify with feeling like your creativity is stifled because you need so many approvals to go through. And there could be a power imbalance as well, where you feel like things are always coming from the top down versus the bottom up. And last but not least, sometimes it could be a little bit of misinformation, because when you've been playing telephone, when it goes through so many people, the message can be distorted by the time it gets to you, whether you're at the top or at the bottom. So when we're talking about this vertical communication and we're giving feedback, we're just communicating in general in the workplace within a hierarchical structure, it's important that you have a few key tips to be successful. So one are clear deadlines. Make sure that there are deadlines that are clearly communicated at every step of the way so things don't get caught. Many times when there are multiple approval systems, it's easy for something to get stuck because there's no urgency and no one knows when it's supposed to get done. It's also key that there are regular meetings from the bottom up and the top down to make sure that everyone is building a community where there is a sense of trust and transparency. Make sure there's opportunities for different people to speak. One of the bad things about a hierarchy structure is that many times folks who are at the lower end feel like they're never seen, they're never heard. It's important that there's connectivity across different levels, and we're not waiting based upon a title. And last but not least is a second nod to transparency. Transparency is key. And one of the last organizations I worked with, we were talking about core values that needed to happen within the organization, and radical transparency is one of the core values that we really push forward for, because so many times it can feel like things are happening to you versus with you. And when you have open communication, radical transparency helps bring everyone along the journey. Even if the feedback you're sharing, if the new initiative that's happening, if there's some change management, it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone's reaction is going to be good, and that's okay. But what's important is that people are in the know.